Hello and welcome to my MUNOG presentation regarding cybersecurity. How does the increase in data flow influence data security and cybercrime? This presentation has been made up over a bunch of months and a bunch of weeks over the lockdown period, as well as afterwards to see the lasting effects of the increase in data flow of in the cyberspace world. Covid-19, the global pandemic. Covid-19 has been hitting the globe quite hard recently, as I'm sure we all are aware of. Just in case you didn't know what it was, it originated in China, and with onset symptoms in December of 2019. It has blown up to be a full global issue, as well as this. The United Nations World Health Organization has had to create a new term regarding this pandemic, which is the word pandemic. And we shall see what the cybersecurity aspects come intertwined with this global pandemic since of the lockdown and the quarantine. There are currently a lot of active problems with cybersecurity, and governments are developing this very slowly in the cyberspace world. Some of the cyber attacks are known to damage companies and people's reputation. As well as this, the cybersecurity aspects of the different places is limited, and not all companies and governments have up-to-date cybersecurity plans. Regarding cyber attacks, there can be a number of cyber attacks. I've listed some below, such as DDoSing, identity and intellectual fraud, brute force attacks, email scams, AK phishing, and Zoom bombing, which has been on the rise since of everything going digital and going digital since the lockdown and lessons during the lockdown. DDoSing. DDoSing is basically a distributed denial of service attack. It's basically a booter off the internet. A booter being the word of basically getting people off and forcing people off the internet. It has seen a sharp increase since COVID-19 began, resulting in 3 times the amount of attacks than last year in the same period. In perspective, the amount of DDoS protection has risen by 217% in 2020. However, this isn't stopping DDoS attacks. DDoS attacks will always happen. No matter who you are, what you are doing, they will always happen. Cloudflare has seen and been victim to a large DDoS attack during the lockdown, which I'm sure many American companies know about. As well as this, due to the Cloudflare DDoS attack, many companies and governments have been starting to try and see if they can increase their cybersecurity DDoSing protocols as well as plans. But this isn't stopping people. People always know a way around these plans and so whatsoever. How can we stop it? We cannot personally stop it. No antivirus will help. All I would recommend is getting access of a VPN, a virtual private network, which will then mask your IP to be elsewhere on the globe, such as if you live in England, you can mask your IP to live in Netherlands or live in Germany, for example. As well as this, people could try and stop click on dangerous links and phishing links and dangerous emails which grab your IP and then give the hacker the access of your IP, which can then perform this denial of service attack. Identity theft. There has been quite a bit on intellectual fraud and theft due to COVID-19, such as there have been more copyright strikes than ever on YouTube since the lockdown, because of people stealing content or stealing logos, images, whatever. As well as this, identity fraud is the act of pretending to be another person for your own personal gain, mostly used for hacking or accessing data which should not be accessed by you. Let's say you're pretending to be a manager of a big business. You have access to all of the government papers, all of the papers which involve money or computers. So basically, it is a massive problem on the rise. Due to COVID-19 and lockdown and quarantine, the cyber industry has seen a large climb in identity fraud. And due to the current growing data flow, the general populace of the globe is resulting in buying stuff online and submitting card details. And sometimes this may be on fishy and insecure websites, which results in money and personal identity being stolen from said person. As well as this, COVID-19 has really brought out the worst in people and cyber criminals, because people would not usually resort to this unless they know what they're doing, or cyber criminals would not resort to doing this because it's just not a good thing to do. It's not really one of their high priorities to getting into a business. It's one of their lowest. Brute force attacks. Due to the increased flow of traffic within the cyberspace, there's obviously going to be more brute force attacks to gain accounts for people's benefits. For example, we have had a brute force attack on a recent gaming industry called Call of Duty, where people's accounts have been taken and changed their passwords and emails and all that lot for the hacker's personal gain. As well as this, websites have got a login, such as Amazon or your school networks have got a login. This may result in people gaining access to your school account or Amazon account or whatever else you may have a login on, which means people are going to use this to see if they can get further and take down the network or take down the company. Last year saw a number of brute force attacks at a relatively low number, pretty much average to what it should be. However, since the lockdown and since the quarantine and all that lot, the brute force attacks has happened to people and resulted in the increased data flow, has resulted in more of these brute force attacks happening, just because of people's boredom and just kind of not doing anything in lockdown and since of the outbreak of COVID-19. Phishing. Phishing is basically scamming people with fake websites or emails. Some of the most reputable ones of phishing techniques is the Nigerian prince, which come on an email and say, I am your Nigerian prince, I have etc. millions of money in the bank, and I would like to give it on to you. This is of course a phishing email. It's to steal someone's personal identity and credit card information, and or their phone number to do illegal things, and dangerous things to harm that person's reputation or to scam them. As well as this, there are other ways of being phished, such as fake websites, such as pop-ups saying, "Oh, you've got a computer virus. Click this link, which will send you to the Microsoft website to remove this virus." It's not going to be the Microsoft website. It's going to be someone else's website, which is a fake website and a complete copy of the Microsoft website. This is very bad for people which do not have a good savvy internet knowledge. As well as this, it's bad for people because they just don't know what they're getting into. This type of cyber attacks has seen a rise due to Covid-19 and has seen a great increase on the amount of people clicking suspicious links and entering the personal data into fake websites or phishing emails. Just be careful, because you never can know whether it is a phishing website or a phishing email. All I would recommend is make sure the website has a little lock. Open the URL bar. Make sure that it's actually a secure website, and make sure that it is a legitimate website, like the Amazon website or the Microsoft website. They always have locks on. Most fake websites and most illegitimate websites do not have this lock on, so be sure to look out for that. And if something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Zoom bombing. This is a new cyber attack since Covid-19 and since the lockdown. It's been on the rise globally since lessons are being moved onto Zoom and moved onto the cyberspace platform. People are targeting schools and online lessons for their own benefit or stress relief, or to find out stuff when they're bored. Some lasting effects are that school finding it hard to commence lessons due to the increased number of bots joining their session. Bots are basically fake accounts or generated accounts to join that lesson or Zoom call. Zoom bombing is the act of joining a Zoom meeting and either botting the Zoom meeting with up to thousands of bots all playing an audio file, basically like a song or etc., or hacking a Zoom meeting to try and steal data from others, such as someone might Zoom bomb so that they can get the details of a manager and see if they can enter the website as a manager. This has seen a massive rise due to Covid-19, and there have been a large number of reports going to different governments and Zoom businesses requiring into possible patch of this situation, because it's just not good. It isn't good, because people are able to get multiple bots on their IP, meaning that they can have endless accounts on their Wi-Fi or network, which means there's going to be a lot of bots and people are going to exploit this. There is an ever-growing threat of cybersecurity and the national integrity of our national security in multiple countries, not only England. Due to the COVID-19 situation, we have seen an inflow of data, and there's an outflow which is bound to be increasingly knowledgeable about breaches of information, such as account information, account details, credit card information, whatever you name it. All I'm going to suggest is companies and governments just need to try and enforce a strict schedule of backing up data and trying to set up authentication to gain this data, such as maybe logging in through your phone, maybe submitting a code for your phone. Like you log into a website, that website sends a text message to your phone saying, here's a code, please enter it on the website. But that might not stop it. There is nothing called secure in the cyberspace network. There's only something called a possible target, which means we are all going to be targeted someday over this next month, week, or even year. We are all going to be targeted or victimized for with these hacks. So all I'm going to say is keep safe. Don't keep on going what you're doing. Just try and keep in mind all of these things when you are searching on the internet and submitting credit card details.